start again. It's a redskin.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Corgi Town USA. I am Candie. In my lap is Chuckles, our spokescorg.
And I am in studio today with Calabria, the honorary Corgi. She is an Australian catalog. And Digby, the Corgi.
The Corgi.
Yeah, whose ear I'm petting right now. Otherwise, I would not be able to sit here.
Oh, yeah. The audacity
I
of
know,
you even
right?
trying to think about it. We also have Booger, our little senior lady, and little Mortimer Barnabas, and the baby, Tito Bandito. They're all here bringing you fresh content every week. If you're new here, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for listening or watching. We are here for you every week to bring you fresh content. We have not only informational, traveling with your dog, and health and wellness of both corgis and dogs alike. And we also have a creator series where we bring on different types of pet companies, pet businesses. We're all about small businesses here.
We are.
So we highly recommend that you patronize some of our beloved guests that we've had on in the past 6 seasons.
Yep.
And we're going to keep building on this traveling.
Yes, I like the traveling.
Yeah, I have 4 and I pretty frequently travel with all of them.
You do.
So usually by car. I can fly with Chuckles. Chuckles is a trained service dog. So Chuckles can actually fly in cabin with me. My others are pets. They don't have that luxury. I think only one is small enough to fit under the airline seat. That's Booger, but we've retired her airline miles.
Yes.
And she used to go on business trips with me.
She has a lot of airline miles.
I know. She's quite traveled, that one. And that's kind of how we got started with traveling your corgi and the good information you need. So we have a very important guest today. If you have not heard, there is the Corgi Travel Company. Shall we bring on Kevin and Winnie?
I think we should bring on Kevin and Winnie. That's pretty cool.
Kevin and Winnie, welcome from the Corgi Travel Company.
Hi there. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Please tell us about yourselves to start with.
Sure. So I'll introduce Winnie first, who I think is falling asleep here and ready for a nap.
Winnie's already over it. She's already over it.
Winnie's our 3-year-old corgi, our family member. She's also my business partner. She's our CFO, or Chief Floofy Officer of the Corgi Travel Company. I'm Kevin, founder of the company. And really happy to be here and to talk to you both.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction. We would love to hear how you got started, how you came up with the idea of the Corgi Travel Company, and kind of tell us what it is.
Yeah, sure. So the Corgi Travel Company just launched just a few months ago.
Yay, congratulations.
And
or
what
shall
we
I
are,
say Corg-gratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long road. It's been an idea for a while, and it just launched, like I said, 3 months ago. Excuse me. And we're a travel company that provides adventures to corgis and their humans to very unique locations, dog-friendly locations. And right now, it's just the United States, but it gives an opportunity for people to go and travel with their corgis, with other like-minded humans and corgis, to have just a wonderful time together and experience some great locations across the United States.
So you figured out the logistics.
We did. It's not easy. And not every city or location is what we consider dog friendly. Some say they are, but they're really not. But there are some great locations in the United States that are very dog friendly. So we have developed some travel packages. We're in the planning stage right now. We're working with vendors that provide accommodation and restaurants and activities, and putting together some travel destination packages. Specifically, our first one's going to be in Acadia National Park in Bar Harbor, Maine. Wonderful location, great places to go and hike, and a great New England town to walk around with your corgi. We're also looking at Asheville, North Carolina, Lake Placid, New York, and also Jekyll Island, Georgia. Also, all very corgi or pet friendly locations that allow you to walk into shops, to even in some cases come into a restaurant and eat indoors with your pet. Great adventures that you could do. We've even identified some restaurants and some private chefs that will be providing in some of our packages some customized meals, not only for our humans, but for our corgis too. So we've
Heck
done
yeah.
all the research, taken out all the stress for the travel, and provide a really exciting, adventurous travel experience for our humans and for our corgis.
Well, we're glad you're doing this. This is great. I'm super excited about it. And being someone that travels quite a bit with mine, I love that you've thought about this because you are so correct in that there are places that claim to be dog friendly when really they're just dog tolerant at best. And that includes hotels, that
Yes.
includes restaurants. And I will say some of your smaller mountain towns, and I don't know if you can kind of confirm or deny if this has been your experience, but some of the smaller mountain towns are some of the most dog friendly. Telluride, Colorado is always very welcoming to us. The 4th of July, we do the Corgi Parade with Chuckle's friend Bacon.
Yep.
And also Bisbee.
Bisbee is very dog friendly. Even here in Phoenix proper, Camelback, not the Esplanade, the one across the street where Macy's is and everything. It's a very dog friendly sort of outdoor mall, and every one of the vendors has little dog treats outside the stores. And
Well, the
water.
outdoor, yeah.
Yeah, the
I'm
outdoor,
talking
yes.
about like the mountain towns. So when we went to Bisbee, they actually let us in the restaurants and bars with the pups, which I thought was super cool. They're just not uptight about the rules. Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
Lake
all right.
Tahoe was very dog friendly, and they let us go in pretty much every place. Think of it as like dog friendly versus dog tolerant. Like, are dogs allowed in this sphere, and are they allowed to be dogs in the sphere? Right? Kind of a difference.
Yeah, so from our experience, so just a little history. My wife and I, we have our two corgis. We have Winnie and Winnie's brother Bert, and we love traveling with our dogs. And we live in Massachusetts. We frequent New Hampshire and Maine, either long weekends or day trips. And we found that the smaller towns, coastal towns of Maine specifically, are just very welcoming and open and not rigid on their policy. Most cities will say you can bring your pet, you can sit outside at a restaurant, but you can't come in. But we found that the smaller locations, because they have such a small season for tourism, it's usually just a couple months in the summer. They don't want to discourage people from coming to their location and realize that is really that big of a deal. So we visited so many restaurants, especially in the coastal areas of Maine, that say, no, come on in, come and sit on our deck or come and sit on our enclosed patio or in the restaurant proper with your corgi. And it's
That
not
makes a
just
lot
one
of
restaurant, it's
sense.
multiple restaurants. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for the tourism season. I didn't think of that as being a why. Did you happen to visit Bangor, Maine, where Stephen King lives with his two corgis?
I have been to Bangor, Maine. My oldest son actually lived in Bangor for quite a bit. I didn't get to Stephen King's house. I know he has corgis, but maybe one day we will. Maybe
He
he'll
has
go on a travel adventure with us. That would be a
Yeah,
great hope.
maybe.
One would hope. I know that he's not super thrilled that occasionally there'll be corgi meetups outside his gates, and I've heard that he's
Oh
not
wow.
not real pleased about that. But that's hearsay. I haven't heard it from Stephen King. This is something that I've read.
Stephen, please call us.
Yeah, we
Confirm
would
or
love to
deny.
hear it from the horse's mouth. But he has Molly, the thing of evil, and Yoshi, the thing of good. Those are Stephen King's two corgis, for those that didn't know already. So as I further digress, you've mentioned some of the locations. So the Corgi Travel Company, are you focusing on locations and packages? Can you go into that a little bit more for us?
Yeah, sure. So again, we just launched and we're starting very small. We want to grow organically. And the plan was to just offer some destinations on the East Coast of the United States. So the first place we want to go, as I mentioned, is Acadia National Park and Bar Harbor, mainly because it's convenient to us. It's only a 5 hour drive. It allows us to talk to our partners up in Bar Harbor, up in Acadia, plan out the whole package for our travelers. It's logistically it's convenient, and plus it's just a beautiful area,
It
very
is.
dog friendly as I mentioned. And then we also want to be able to cater to other people who are interested in these travel packages that are other locations. So southern locations we're looking at Asheville, North Carolina, and Jekyll Island, Georgia. There's so many other fun places down south, but we found that those two are the most dog friendly. A lot of options to provide to our travelers and their corgis during these packages. We also found that there's just some beautiful landscape and places to visit in Lake Placid, New York. Not during the winter, but during the fall time when the leaves are changing. It's so beautiful, and again, it's a dog friendly location. So we figured let's throw that in the mix now. Now, in the future, we'd love to add other locations, especially on the West Coast. There's some great conventions and conferences, and you got the Corgi Nationals and all that. We would love to do stuff on the West Coast, but we're starting East Coast right now.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to being a part of that. Since we're in Phoenix here at Corgi Town USA, we go to the West Coast quite a bit. So most of the traveling we do is from here to California, but we also go to Colorado and a couple of other places. So I'm very excited to see this all come about and see you guys grow with what you do.
Thank you.
So tell us, how do we sign up?
Sure. So the best way to do is go to our website. It's corgitravel.com. Right now, you'll find some general information about the locations that we're planning on offering. We're not going to have travel packages start until the spring of 2026. That's the anticipated start date. We will have those travel packages available for booking as early as September of this year. So right now we're still in the planning phases of confirming and contracting with all our vendors, accommodations, restaurants, and all that. But it will come as soon as September. We'll be able to go on there and book. But go to the website, look at all the destinations that we're planning on offering in 2026. We have a full FAQ list, great about us page to learn all about Winnie and her brother Bert, who are great members of our team, of our business. So
And they've beta tested for you.
yes, they have. They
And
have.
for those listening, will you please tell everyone what your website is in case they happen to be listening and not viewing? I will share relevant links down into the description box, but if you're listening, you might want to hear how we get there. So can you please tell everyone what the website is?
Sure. Our website is corgitravel.com. And if you go to the website, we also have links to our social media pages. Facebook, we're pretty prominent in. We'll be spreading some other social media pages as well. But corgitravel.com, go there and learn everything about the Corgi Travel Company.
And I don't think that I don't think that spring of 2026, as of the recording of this, is not that far away. I'm planning vacations, 2 years from right now, so it's not that far away. I know a number of people. My husband, before I met him, he has always had a number of dogs. This is probably the least number that he has, the two that we have now. And there were times where he and his wife, his ex-wife, or he and whomever, wouldn't go on vacation because there was no one to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Their dogs, not just or you can't take
Couldn't
them.
go with them. Yeah.
You can't go with them. So one would go, someplace, and then the other would go someplace, but they never had a quote family vacation. And I think this opens up a tremendous number of possibilities, right?
Totally agree with you. And that's how we came with the idea. My wife and I, as I mentioned, we love to travel. And Winnie and Bert, they're part of our family. They're family members. Just like we traveled with our kids when they were younger. We want to travel with our corgis. We don't want them to miss out on the fun times.
Yes.
So, and there are times where we travel where we do put our dogs into kennels, or they stay with friends of ours or family of ours if it's a long trip or it's just inconvenient to travel with. But whenever we get the opportunity to travel with our dogs, we do. And when we first started doing it, I'm sure everyone has this experience when the first time you want to go traveling with your dog, it could be stressful. It could be anxious to do it. How do we experience all we want to experience at these locations if I have a pet with me? What if they're not as dog friendly as they say? So, we thought about that in all the planning with our packages to make it so it's stress free, as stress free as possible, anxiety free, and just be able to enjoy it with your family member, with your corgi, and just have a great old time, so you can bring back memories and share with your family and share with your friends that look all the great things we did with their family member, with our Corgi.
Exactly. And I think the way you were saying, sometimes you go without them. Hey, how many times do parents go on vacation without the kids? It's a vacation that they want to get away from the kids. And sometimes we do want to get away from our pets.
Not me.
And we
I don't want to go anywhere without my
she
dog.
doesn't want to go anywhere. I enjoy
Not having to worry.
Not
Yeah.
hearing them whimper in the morning that they have to go out for a walk.
Or not having to worry about them.
Or
like,
not having
yeah.
to worry about them or anything like that. So, you know, when you do want to go with your pet, great. We've got you now to have these pet friendly vacations. And when you don't have to.
Yeah, but this is for Corgi Travel Company.
I know.
This is for people like me. If my dog is not invited, I don't want to go. That's me. So I love that you're doing this, and I love that you're out there vetting these locations. And just to touch more on what you were talking about, you know, how your organization helps make the humans and their dogs safe and relaxed on this. I would love to hear some more examples, because I have sort of a mental, well, a written as well, but a mental checklist on, okay, where are we going? What is the temperature like? Is it either too cold or too hot where that could be hazard? In which case, what are my controls? If I'm traveling by car, again, we live in Phoenix, we're going to be traveling in a hot part of the desert for at least 2 hours. Can I keep them cool? Do I have good air conditioning in the vehicle that I'm in, etc.? Are we traveling by some other strange mode of transportation? Boat, bus? Am I going to be able to get everybody on easily, right? Is there access to water? Is there places where I can carry water easily and I can store it easily, right? Where are we going? Where are there hazardous things they can eat? Because corgis eat everything on the ground and they're so close to it, sometimes they pick it up before you can instill a drop it cue. You know, these are the kinds of things I think about as far as like safety and have that checklist. So I'd love to hear some examples from you on kind of how you plan for that, to let people know sort of what you thought of.
Yeah, sure. So I think that's probably one of the number one reasons why people may not travel with their corgis is it's the, how do I plan for this? What do I bring here? What if this happens? And we take all that out in this travel package. So and I'm sure you've experienced this too, where you plan and plan and plan. I gotta go travel with my corgi, and then you get to the destination, you're like, oh my goodness, I forgot this, or oh, I forgot the poop bags, or I forgot the special water bottle for the dog. So what we do is we plan it, so we think of all those things. The travelers don't have to think about it. It starts with we bring a knowledgeable tour guide that leads the travel group, very knowledgeable in the destination, but also is experienced in pets, specifically corgi friends, fans, and understand how to treat pets for their needs they may have. In addition to that, and I think what makes us really unique is what we call corgi handlers. So depending on the amount of travelers we have coming with their corgis, we're going to have a number of corgi
Sounds like a
handlers.
dream job, by the way.
Well, we're accepting applications if you're interested. So
Awesome.
the corgi handler is going to be the person who's going to take care of all those things that you don't have to worry about. So as we're walking down the beautiful town of Bar Harbor, and your your corgi has to take a little bit of a break to relieve themselves. They're going to have the poop bags. They're going to clean up the poop. They're going to have the water bottles. They're going to have extra leashes and harnesses. They're going to have some raincoats in case the weather changes. They're going to have all those things you could possibly think of, so you don't have to worry about it. They're
I
also going to
love
be
this.
there.
Candie is in heaven right
Yeah,
now.
I love
Candie is
this.
just bubbling.
This is Caddyshack for corgis. I'm
Yeah.
totally imagining scenes from Caddyshack, you know, carrying around the golf bag with all the things you need.
Right, right. That's exactly what they'll be there for. And there's also going to be opportunities when we're walking around a town, and you may come across a nice shop or something where you're interested to visit. Maybe that's that one shop that won't allow pets in, and that's where the corgi handler comes in. So they'll grab the leash, they'll take care of the corgi while you go and experience the shop for a little bit. We're there to make your vacation, your experience as enjoyable as possible. Enjoy it with your corgi, but if there's some things where you just need a little bit of a break or a little bit of help, a little extra hand, that's where the corgi handler is there.
It's like a nanny for corgis.
Yeah.
It's like a little nanny.
Your
for
corgi caddy.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I love that you've thought of these things, and I'm looking forward to signing up. I can't wait to check these out. And I haven't had the chance to really play on the East Coast very much at all. I love
Arcadia is beautiful.
Yeah, I love New York, but I've never been to Maine. I've never
Okay.
been to some of these places. And so I'd love to fly out with Chuckles since he can fly with me and kind of check this out. Like I'm totally a romantic weekend with my dog.
I would suggest, getting a car, getting a little trailer, taking them all out there and doing the whole thing.
Well,
Doing a little cross country thing.
Takes a while though. You need like a week. How long is it? Are these typically like weekends? Are they weeks at a time, your packages? How does the timing work?
Yeah, great question. So right now we're planning it around long weekends. We're finding that 3 nights seems to be um, a good a good amount of time for people to break away from work, have a nice travel, trip to one of these locations. Anything longer, some people may be trepidatious because it's too long. And how do what we're going to do for more than 3 days, and what am I going to do with my corgi, or with my pet? So we figured 3 days is perfect. That's plenty of time to jam pack it full of great adventures, great activities, great restaurants, sites, with at our locations.
That is so great. And also, I want to add for a corgi handler position, we have some enthusiasts that follow our show that are maybe not ready for their own corgi. And so we've been known to share some ideas on how they can get involved with corgi communities if they're not ready for their own, be it foster through rescue, be it volunteer at shelters, for all the puppers out there. But having a position like a position like that's not ours this time.
I'm looking at mine going, which one are you little?
It's not ours this time. Hey, welcome. What is that, Winnie? Welcome to the show.
Winnie.
That's Winnie. Yep. My son just walked in the door, and Winnie's just saying hi.
I love it because she's like, "Excuse me, isn't this a corgi podcast? Where's my microphone? Didn't you know I have some opinions on this? Can I talk about these, please?" But yes, I think that a job such as a corgi handler is a great way for somebody to get involved, that they want to be surrounded by corgis and hang out with them and be part of the care team if they're not ready for their own.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think it's a great opportunity for people to get experience if they're looking for a career in the travel industry. Yes, their focus is going to be to help our travelers with their corgis, but they're also experiencing what it involves to put on a travel package such as this. They're learning from the tour guide. They're learning from the logistics of how you plan something like this, and when the what ifs pop up, and all of a sudden you have to make some adjustments to your activities because of the weather or whatever it may be. So they're getting a lot of experience in the whole travel industry as well, and that's really who we're looking for, or maybe recent college graduates or people who are still in the college that want to get into the travel industry as a career, but also are dog lovers and want to experience that and put forth some work to really help out and experience what our travelers will experience.
And hospitality skills.
Right.
I could see someone who's in like vet tech training that would want to do this as a summer job or as a between semesters job, get a little extra income.
And you might be a dog person, but you got to be a people person too.
You've got to be a people person.
What qualities do you look for when hiring corgi handlers?
They got to be enthusiastic. They have to be energetic. They have to be, part of the experience for the traveler is to interact with the other travelers, but to also interact with their team. And so I want them to strike up conversation. I want them to get to know the traveler, but also get to know the corgi. And if they're too introverted or too shy, then that's probably not the ideal person. We want someone who's just really enthusiastic about, working with their travelers, giving them such a great experience, but also really bonding with their corgis.
Yeah. And because that's why you're doing it. It's fun. It's exciting. It's invigorating, right?
Yeah.
We're all there to enjoy the experience.
I can tell you, so in the summer, we'll take a drive up from Phoenix to Shelton, Washington, which is where my husband's parents are in the summer. That's their main residence. And we've got to take the dogs with us. It's easy to get a pet sitter for the cats. The dogs, it's a little more cumbersome. So we take the dogs with us. And a couple of years ago on our way up, there was a bad accident, and we literally just sat there in traffic for 5 hours.
Mm.
And so we couldn't make the rest of the trip up. We'll do it in a 26-hour straight run, taking little breaks, but we couldn't make it up. And so we had to stop. And the only hotel is a Motel 6, which was actually not terrible.
You found a good one?
I found a good one. I'm a snob. And the floors in the motel room are designed for dogs and their accidents. Not that mine did, but they're definitely designed for dogs and their accidents. And it truly was dog friendly. It wasn't, we'll let your dog stay here in the car overnight or something like that. This was the dogs stayed with us in our room. So it was great.
Yeah, that's good. That was a happy accident.
That was a happy accident. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about this. We would love to have you back on as you grow, when you launch new cities.
Yes.
So that we can tell everybody sort of a refresh of what you're doing, since you're so brand new, and tell us about some of your favorite adventures. And we would love to have you on again as well.
That would be terrific. We'd love to do that. As I mentioned, we're starting small here, but we got some great ideas, and looking forward to telling everyone about some of our future plans.
Yeah, that's excellent. And once again, please tell everyone the website. I will drop a link in the description box.
Sure. So you can visit us at corgitravel.com, the Corgi Travel Company, and you can go there and get all the information you need to hear about who we are and what we offer.
And you have the socials. Where can they follow you on the socials?
Yep, Facebook is the best. You can find the link on our webpage. Just click on that, and we post at least once a day. We try to, and you get a lot of posts from Winnie, a lot of posts from her brother Bert. So please check that out.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, and we look forward to what you do next, and probably going on an adventure or two with you in the future.
Candie's definitely got it all planned out.
I'm ready. Bags are packed, man. Let's do this.
Oh, I have one last question. Very quick last question.
Yeah.
I have a Corgi and another dog. Are you going to be able to accommodate people who don't have just 100% pure Corgi like Candie does? I have a mixed family.
Sure, that's a great question. So at the onset here, we are offering travel packages specifically for just corgis, so breed specific. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to provide that in the future. I think we may have some options. We may do multiple weekends at a certain destination. For example, maybe one is just breed specific with adults, breed specific with family members, so younger children, and maybe others that are breed specific, but also other dogs that may be part of your family. So it's something that we're researching and thinking about, but from the onset, it will just be Corgi specific. Okay, so everybody do stay tuned, and we will have you back on so that we get more of these.
What about multiples? Is there a limit to how many?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Miss 4 in tow over here.
Yep.
That's me. Perfect. Well, that is Kevin and Winnie from the Corgi Travel Company. Please follow them on the socials, as well as check out the website, check out the packages. We're going to stay tuned and have them back on the show for more growth as they open more cities. Happy to hear it here on Corgi Town USA, the launch of Corgi Travel Company.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first.
You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
So you don't grab Digby and go with me, like to Maine or this amazing town you were talking about?
So Arcadia.
In New York,
Arcadia. Yeah, Arcadia. That's up in Maine. So what we're gonna do? Girls' weekend. I'll keep the husband home.
Girls and boy corgis.
And boy corgis, right? Maybe.
I mean, I'm here for it. That's my idea of a good time, right there.
All corgis all the time.
And we have handlers, so
yeah.
Get a little too tipsy at cocktail hour. Don't worry, the handler's there. If you're stumbly.
Is that like when bad parents get drunk in front of the kids? No.
Not if you have the nanny, though. It's perfectly acceptable.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you have the nanny. All right. I'm game.
Well, I'm going to go get this corgi fur out of my nose. But we hope that you liked this episode. Please like and subscribe. We're here for you every week. All things corgi pet parent lifestyle. Here with the Corgi Committee, Booger, Tito Bandito, Mortimer Barnabas, and of course, Chuckles, our spokescorg, in my lap.
And right here next to me is Digby and Calabria, the honorary corgi.
We'll see you next week.
next week. Bye bye.